go. Awesome. Okay, so we're really excited that you guys are interested in going through the RA application process. Maybe some of you have even already started your application, which is great. But we are excited. We know it is early. If you can believe it, we have to start thinking this early about our RAs for next year. Being an RA is just a really huge commitment and job, and it includes where you live and where you work. And so we want to give students plenty of time to plan ahead and to go through our process and then know where you're going to be living and working for next year. So let's just start with like some basics about who works in Res Life. If you didn't know, Res Life is the largest employer of students on campus. We hire almost 200 students. Some of those are our community leaders. So we have community leaders in every hall that are kind of like an RA to the RAs. And that is our highest leadership position in residential life. And then of course we have our resident advisors, which is what we're talking about today. We have 61 RAs on campus. And then we have our desk assistants, which are also employed by residential life. And some of you may be desk assistants. Then we have what we call pro staff, and it encompasses a group of our professional staff members, including myself. I'm Jenny. I'm the director of residential life. We have an assistant director of operations, Lauren, who also works in our main office. And then we have coordinators that are over some of our buildings and areas, and those are full-time individuals that also live on campus. And then we have our amazing graduate assistants. So our graduate assistants are a part of our professional staff, and they work part-time in our department helping with each of our communities. So what is an RA? Hopefully a lot of you here today are freshmen, and hopefully you know your RA and you're like, yeah, I know that they're this like really cool, friendly, awesome person, but what is it that they do? So the RA role is considered about a 15-hour-a-week position. You do not put in those hours or time anywhere, but we just like for students to be prepared what to expect in your schedule. Some of that time is spent with our weekly meetings. So RAs are part of a team at a specific building. So if you're an RA in Botts Hall, you're a part of that Botts Hall team, which is 14 people. So you would attend a weekly meeting with those individuals. You also have one-on-ones with your supervisor, which might be the GA or the coordinator. And that's really a mentorship relationship. So we're hoping that our RAs understand that they're buying into a leadership position that comes and includes a mentorship that you show up to and buy into. And that's why we take so much time in this process, because we really believe in our role as acting as a leader and a mentor in your life and helping you throughout your time in college, even as an RA. And then programming, which we all know this year with COVID, programming has looked different, but hopefully next year we'll be able to get back a little bit into our regular swing of things. So RAs work really hard to plan programming and events so that students can connect with one another. RAs also work desk shifts, and then just generally creating community on the hall. So more than anything, RAs are just available to their residents. So a lot of what we all do in residential life, including myself, is respond and react to things. You know, we're here to serve our students and to be available to them and meet their needs. And so a lot of what your role as an RA is chilling until something comes up and then trying to react and respond and meet the needs of your residents. So RAs are compensated with a free single room and then half of their dining plan. So that is applied directly onto the student account. You actually get a housing and dining waiver that's applied straight to your JU account. And that's why you don't have to put in any time or hours. You will just receive that waiver automatically. So let's talk about how to apply. Our application is open and live. It's open for the rest of this week and I think all of next week. So it's a really simple application. There are maybe like 2 short answers that you should know the answer to, like why do you want to be an RA? And then you are going to attach your resume at the end of the application. So just be prepared ahead of time. You don't want to start that application until you have your resume ready, because the last step of it will be to go ahead and upload that resume. If you need any help with your resume, our Career Center on campus is awesome and incredible, and we really recommend reaching out to them if you haven't made a resume before, or anyone in Res Life. Like your coordinators would also be happy to help you if a resume is something you're not familiar with. Then you're just gonna get one recommendation. So we actually have a really simple form. And we even put the link to the form in the application, so you can just copy that link. And then all you have to do is send that link to one person that you would like to be a recommendation for you, a reference for you. So that can be a mentor, it can be a past employer, it could be a professor. If you're a freshman and you don't feel like that person's at JU, that's completely fine. If you have a really great relationship with someone from high school, a coach, a professor, someone from a group you were involved in, that would be a great person. You just want to pick someone that really knows you well and is going to be able to really accurately answer the questions about you. And all you have to do is send them that link, and then that will come directly to us. So pretty simple and easy process to apply. After you apply, a few different things happen. So depending on the amount of applicants we get, unfortunately, we probably won't be able to ask everyone to come to the next stage. We will let everyone know who has applied where they're at in the process. So if we're not able to invite you to the next stage in the process, we will definitely let you know. That way you're not just wondering what's going on. But those that are invited, we'll do 2-on-1 interviews. And what that means is it's 2 of our professional staff members and then 1 of you. So you'll sign up for 2 of those. And the intent is that those are just less intimidating interview spaces to be in. So we know that it can be really hard sometimes to interview with like a large group of people. We want to keep it really simple. Just let it be 2 of us and 1 of you. And then we're just going to have more of a casual time together. So this year, this will be over Zoom. So we just ask that we'll send you all the information when you're invited to these interviews, but they're not super professional interviews. You don't need to like wear a suit to these, although if you would like to, you're welcome to. But we really want to just get to know you, spend some time talking to you about why you want to be an RA, how much you know about the position, just more have some conversation with you during that time so that we can come out of it and have a pretty good idea of who you are and how you would fit into that role. And if you really have a good understanding of what the role is. After that interview process, which will probably be about a week or 2, we will then invite another group from those interviews to do our group interviews. So again, we will always let you know where you are in the process. But after the 2-on-1 interviews, we will pare down even more and then invite a final group to our group interviews. These will be in person, but they will be very socially distanced. We will wear our mask and be incredibly careful about how we do them. They will be in the evening and they will be interactive. So again, we'll be socially distant. So they will be interactive verbally, but it's really intended to be something fun. Something fun for you to interact with the other individuals that are interviewing. The group interviews are for new RAs only. So we won't have our returning RAs doing the group interviews. It'll just be all of our new RA applicants. It'll be a chance for you to get to know some other applicants and just interact with one another, interact with us. And again, it's intended to be like just a fun night together. So after those group interviews, we will essentially be at the end of the semester. And before you leave for winter break, we will tell all of our new RA applicants whether you are moving forward to the RA class or not. Anyone who we're moving into the RA class, we really intend for that to be a pretty tight group of people that we intend and hope to hire or select as an RA alternate. So our goal is to make that a smaller group of people that if you're going into the RA class, we're just almost there. This is the final step. There's a really great chance that you are getting hired. We're trying to figure out where it would be best to place you. And then some people in that class will be selected as RA alternates. So the RA class is a 6-week course. It happens in the spring, which is why we let you know before you go into the fall semester, into the winter term. We will help you get registered for that class. It is 1 credit hour. We will offer a couple of different times to make sure it works with everyone's schedule. And then you will be in that 6-week class. And at the end of the 6-week class, we will tell everyone who's getting hired and where you're getting placed. And it'll be really exciting. And that will all be before housing selection. So again, one of the things that's really important is making sure you know where you're living and what you're doing before you would have to select your housing for next fall, because we want you to feel settled and want you to feel like you know what you're doing. So that is the whole process. I would love to know if anyone has any questions. I'm seeing that we actually have a lot of people in the waiting room. Whoops. So does anyone have any questions about the process or about what it looks like to apply to be an RA? Feel free to raise your hand or put something in the chat if you do have a question. Otherwise, no worries. It is pretty straightforward and easy. Awesome. Well, I am going to actually stop the recording.